Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to do a general collective reading. This reading is timeless, so you can always come back to it when you feel that it resonates. If it resonates, and if it doesn't, then it's not for you. So we're going to be using our Golden Art Nouveau deck by Julia Masaglia, and we're going to cleanse the deck with our good old-fashioned sound cleansing, which you're not going to hear, but that is okay. Awesome. So we're just going to do a general reading based off of what we need to know and what we should be mindful of. Okay. So what do we need to know? What card do we need? What cards for us? Let's see what we get. Alrighty, y'all. Okay, so we got the Two of Cups. Okay, so first off, I gotta highlight these cards. They're so beautiful. Okay, so as always, we're gonna read the symbolism and the energy in the card. So when you're looking at this card, it is the cup card, so you automatically know that's gonna have to do with feelings, emotions, and this card is also correlated to relationships. Doesn't have to be romantic, but this is one of the relationship cards. This could also be a partnership. It could be a individual that you're meeting. It could even be a friend that you feel like you have a very close connection to. Okay. I'm going to take it in the manner of relationship, just based off of the energy of the card. Okay. So when we're thinking about this specific card, okay, so this is a collective reading. So you might have met someone that felt sudden. You weren't really like looking for anything. It kind of just like happened randomly. And I'm seeing this sense of endearment. You feel tied to the person as if like you've known them. I'm not gonna say it's like a past life connection, but it's almost kind of like where you meet someone and you're like, you seem very familiar, in a very like endearing, almost kind of like beating your like childhood best friend as adults and one of you doesn't remember or something. Almost kind of like a some type of what's the word? Amnesia. That's kind of what I'm getting here. I don't know why. It's almost kind of like you've known of each other, or like one of you has known of the person and the other has like no idea. They just can't remember. Okay. And I'm getting a lot of like playfulness in this card. So maybe one of you has a habit of like teasing the other, or that's kind of just like your style. Like you have this kind of like childlike wonder where you're very like lighthearted and you keep things fun. Okay. So something to keep in mind, right? So could be that you're meeting this person or you already met them. Okay. And you're going to keep it fun. You're going to keep it cute. It's very optimistic. Let's get a little bit more clarity there. Okay. So you met someone or you're going to meet someone. Okay. Let's see. The Seven of Wands. Interesting. Okay, cool. All right. So if you remember from one of my last readings, okay, so the Seven of Wands has to do with our defenses or maybe even defense mechanisms. So it could be that you might be feeling like your boundaries are being pushed, maybe. Not necessarily by this person, but almost kind of like they're pushing the envelope a little bit. So, where maybe you're a little bit more romantically conservative, they're maybe a little bit more on that teasing side. So, that could be a discussion, right? That could be something that comes up to be like, hey, like, I know you're trying to like be funny, but this is a boundary for me, right? And then when we look at the energy in this card, could be that maybe you've gone through something in the past, either romantically, and this card is triggering you. So, reason why I find this card to be interesting is because when we think about past relationships, a lot of times there's a saying that relationships are mirrors, right? So when we get triggered in any type of like relationship or any type of partnership, our first instinct could be like, nope, get out, I'm fighting, or I'm running away, I'm not dealing with this, right? And I'm laughing because like the energy in this card is kind of like when we're teenagers a little bit, and we're just like, oh, like I like you, so like I'm gonna like ignore you and never speak to you ever again. Or like I like you, so I'm going to like come off as like standoffish a little bit to test you. Um it doesn't have to necessarily be that, but like that's like the energy that I'm getting from this card for some reason. And this could be like maybe a trauma response of yours where like when things start to get like a little bit too like deep emotionally, you're just like, yeah, no, I'm a push them away, or I'm a run away, right? Or I'm gonna ghost them, or like I'm going to get combative a little bit, like whether it's verbally or like sassy a little bit. So that's where like this came up for me. It doesn't necessarily have to be that, right? But we're gonna get a little bit more clarity from our other cards. So give me a second. The energy in that card just made me laugh. I'm sorry. Okay. That's insane. Okay, so we got the sun. We got the sun. Okay, so reason why I like this card is this is one of the most positive cards in the deck, okay? In any tarot deck. When we talk a little bit about major arcana cards, with this card, so I'm looking at the sun. The sun kind of has like a, sorry, I don't got my glasses on, so that's why I'm like squinting for the life of me. So when it comes to the sun, it has this kind of like, I don't know if you can see, lion-esque features. Okay. So this card I also kind of associate with Leos because they have a lot of sun sign attributes. So when I think about this card in relation to the lovers and the Seven of Wands, this is a success card, right? So this, whatever this dynamic is, you might, again, like it might be like, ooh, okay, like I feel like I know you. Okay, this is interesting. And you feel connected, and you're going to trigger the living daylights out of each other, or one of you is going to trigger the other person. And then we're going to have a lot of happiness and success. Okay. So let me just go back to like the sun card specifically. Okay. So when it comes to the sun card, a lot of times it's like the everything's going to work out, right? So when this card is, I'm looking at the horse home. Okay, so remember how we talked about reading the energy and the symbolism here. So when it comes to the horse, right? Notice how it's like calm, and also notice how it's a little bit coy, right? So this is going to be a subtle success, right? So when I say subtle, this might mean that because you weren't expecting this connection and it was triggering, you might have to challenge expectations surrounding relationships, right? So when we're challenging our expectations of relationships, I want you to think about kind of like the Disney movie complex that a lot of us might have had growing up, where we have this idea of like what a ideal relationship looks like, and then in actual real life relationships, right? And you're like, this is nothing like Disney, and the honeymoon stage is over, and now this person's annoying me, and now what, right? But the reason why I say like this is like a subtle success is because you have very high expectations when it comes to the avenue of relationships, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? But we want to be mindful of, are we putting people on pedestals and then acting surprised when their humanness shows up, right? Like no one is going to be like 100% perfect. No one is going to like say the right things 100% of the time. But I like that this is a subtle success, but overall, there's going to be a lot of happiness when it comes to this specific situation. Okay. So now, again, I want to recap. We are either going to meet someone or already met someone, and it's going to feel familiar, almost kind of like childlike. Someone's going to feel like they got amnesia, right? It's like, I feel like I know you, but I don't remember. Or maybe, again, like you might have known each other when you were younger, back in college, middle school, whatever. And it feels almost kind of like a breath of fresh air, right? And then they're going to trigger the daylights out of you. Okay. So either you're going to trigger them or they're going to trigger you. You're going to feel like you got to put your guard up, or your defenses are going to come out, your defense mechanisms are going to come out. Challenge that notion of pushing people away. Challenge it, right? Because some people, you start playing that game and they're like, all right, well, I'm not staying. Like, what? I'm not going to be somewhere where I'm not wanted, right? So, like, I'm not here. I'm not here for the test, right? Like that saying, like the universe is testing me and I didn't study. They don't know you. What is there to study? You have to get to know people first, right? So, and then the success card, right? So, whatever this dynamic is, again, could be romantic. I'm getting romantic energy. That's why I'm smiling. So I'm just like, this is very cute. This is very cute energy. So, for whoever this is for, just keep in mind, right? You might have feel like you know them. They're gonna trigger, they're gonna trigger you. And it's going to be a subtle success. Okay. And there's going to be a lot of happiness, a lot of joy, and everything is going to work out in the end. Okay. So when it comes to this specific situation, sorry, I'm a hopeless romantic. So like when I get romantic energy, I get like the vibe is different. You can tell. But this is very cute energy. This is very, very cute. It's very optimistic. It's very like healing our inner child vibes. So I very much appreciate this. This is cute. This is cute. Okay. All right, but that's the situation for the specific reading. Once again, if you have any questions, please put them down in the comments. As always, you are divinely protected, and I just appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for stopping by. You didn't have to stop by, and you did. Whether you were here for the whole video or not, doesn't matter. Your presence is known, and I just, again, very grateful. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So, besides that, I hope you have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you. All right, take care.